Good evening. We begin tonight with who is cashing in and who is still waiting. Reimbursement checks now headed to the Valley as payback for helping during the latest immigration crisis.
Yeah, one charity already making plans for the more than a $500,000 refund. Channel 5's Kristen Von Preisen explains where that money came from and where it's going now. Kristen?
It's money cities and charities requested as they see themselves filling the gaps of a federal problem on the border. The new funds from a FEMA food and shelter program are going right back into this effort. Change is one thing that's defined immigration in the Valley. The last years of Central American immigrants, the border, and local cities. Those immigrants' needs, their numbers, their family makeup, all keep changing. This season, there aren't as many immigrant families in the Valley. They're arriving with little, but stopping short at the border in Mexico under a new U.S. government program that makes them wait. And groups that give aid?
They're right there. They need a lot of help.
Sister Norma Pimentel's staff and volunteers at Catholic Charities are shifting their aid from McAllen to Mexico.
If you go to Matamoros, you cross the bridge, you'll see them right there. You know, they're all there. They're all with the hot sun and the inability to have water or any basic things that a person needs.
They went from seeing as many as 1,000 new arrivals per day at this former nursing home on Hackberry last winter in McAllen. Last year, she says they racked up $601,000 in expenses for housing and feeding the immigrants. Much of the budget was improvised from donations and help from volunteers. But now the new funds that pay for last year's expenses will help with this year's new problems across the border. And others who chipped in?
We spent a lot of money on that.
The city of McAllen is still waiting for their contribution from that same program. From January to July of this year, the city spent approximately $180,000 transporting immigrants using city transit.
It became a logistics issue for us.
City manager Roy Rodriguez says they're working to respond to some follow-ups on their application and expect a return. A local issue of federal scale that keeps changing. Cities and aid groups are working to keep up. And McAllen says they're confident their application will go through. The city has been reimbursed before for services, including security, going back to 2014. Catholic Charities has also been reimbursed before. Their 2014 application took 2 years to be approved. In the Channel 5 News studio, Kristen Von Preisen, Channel 5 News at 10.